Alright guys, video number 8, 2 more. Given the system of equations below, what is the value of y in the solution? So again, if you have Desmos available to you, I would graph this into Desmos, and then you can just see the y solution. Remember, it's a coordinate. It's the second number of the point where they intersect. I am going to solve this one just with a different method, just so you see it. I'm going to solve this one with the elimination method. By multiplying this bottom equation by -2, I will make this a positive 2y, which will make my y's cancel, just so you can practice a different method. 3x minus 2y equals 12, negative 8x plus 2y equals negative 22. So we add these together, I get negative 5x, my y's cancel, equals negative 10 divided by negative 5, x equals 2. I wanted to know the y though, so go back to your original problem, plug x being 2 in for one of these, and solve it for y. I'm going to do the first one. So 3 times 2 minus 2y equals 12. 6 minus 2y equals 12. Subtract 6. Negative 2y equals 6. Divide by negative 2y, negative 2. Y equals negative 3. So negative 3 is your answer for y. Again, you can plug this into Desmos, and it will also show you negative 3 for your y. All right, 80, which expression is equivalent to x to the 6, x to the 2? So when we have two variables with exponents being multiplied together, these are right next to each other, which means I'm multiplying them. I really add the exponents. So this ultimately becomes x to the 8th. Obviously, x to the 8th is not here, but which one of these also means x to the 8th, or also equals x to the 8th? A would be x to the 7th, B would be x to the 8th, C would be x to the 10th, D would be x to the 12th. So your answer here is B, because it would end up also being x to the 8th. 81. The equations 5x plus 2y equals 48 and 3x plus 2y equals 32 represents the money collected from school concert ticket sales during 2 class periods. If x represents the cost for each adult ticket and y represents the cost for each student ticket, what is the cost for each adult ticket? So I want to basically figure out x because I want to figure out what's the cost for the adult ticket. Okay, again, you can do Desmos. So I will actually do Desmos this time to show you. And I'm just trying to load my app. Okay, so I'm just going to plug both of these into Desmos. So the first one is 5x plus 2y equals 48. And the next one is 3x plus 2y equals 32. Where they intersect is where they are equal. 8 comma 4, 8 is your x, 4 is your y. X, remember, represents adult, y represents the kids or students. So 8 comma 4 is where they intersected. I want to know x because that's adult, so $8 per adult ticket. Okay, which expression represents 2x squared times 8x to the 6th divided by 4x to the 6th in simplest form? So again, this is just your laws of exponents. You need to know those laws of exponents. Across the top, I am multiplying. So I'm going to multiply normally my numbers. 2 times 8 is 16. And we're going to add our exponents. X to the 2 plus 6. That makes it x to the 8th. I'm still being divided by 4x to the 6th. Now that I'm doing division, I'm going to divide numbers normally. 16 divided by 4 is 4. And we are going to subtract exponents, top minus bottom. So 8 minus 6. So you end up with 4x to the 2nd, so C. '83, P equals 12W divided by, 1.2W divided by h squared, where P is pressure in pounds per square inch, W is weight in pounds, and H is heel width in inches. Which of the following shows the pressure formula solved for H? So we want to figure out H. So since H is on the bottom of my fraction, I want to get H on, not on the bottom of my fraction anymore. So how do I get something off of the bottom of a fraction? I would multiply it. If I multiply this side by h squared, it will get rid of the h squared, and whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do the other. So I'm also going to multiply p by h squared. So I have h squared p equals 1.2w. Now I'm going to divide off the p, and I have h squared equals 1.2w over p. Since this is h squared, how do I undo a square root? Or square, I square root. So h equals, remember there's a plus minus, square root 1.2w divided by p, which corresponds to letter B. All right, 84, which inequality is represented by the graph below? So the first thing you want to take a peek at is that this is a dashed line, which means we are doing greater than or less than. All of these are greater than or less than, so we can't eliminate anything. Other thing you want to notice is it's being shaded under, which means we're doing a less than. All of these happen to be less than, so we also can't eliminate anything. So we've got to jump to our y-intercept and our slope. Our y-intercept looks like it's at 1, so everything has a 1. And our slope to get to the next point, which would be like here, is down 2 over 1. So down 2 over 1. So negative 2 over 1 is our slope, which is just a negative 2. So I'm looking for something y less than negative 2x plus 1, which is B. Okay, the area of a parallelogram is 35 p to the 6 q to the 6 square units. If the base of the parallelogram measures 5 p q squared units, what's the height of the parallelogram? You need to know how to find area of a parallelogram, which is base times height. So we have our area, 35p6q6 equals, we have our base, 5pq2. We don't know our height. How do I solve this for height? I divide off 5pq squared, 5pq squared. This goes away and I get h. Okay, divide numbers, subtract exponents. 35 divided by 5 is 7. And if I look over here, I can already eliminate c and d. P to the 6 minus 1 is p to the 5th, which means it's probably a, but let's check q. Q, 6 minus 2, q to the 4th. So the height is 7, p to the 5th, q to the 4th, which is a. If I multiply this back to the base, it should equal 35p6q6. Okay, 86. The cost of renting a van for one day includes a flat rental fee plus a charge for each mile the van is driven once rented. A van that's driven 107 miles costs $97. A van that is driven 127 miles costs $106.15. What's the rental fee? This can be solved a couple of ways, but I think I'm going to solve it with statistics. Okay, so we have basically 2 points here. I have 107 miles driven cost $97.15, and I have 127 miles driven cost $106.15. And if we get our calculator, so this will get me, a line of best fit. So I'm going to get my calculator. I'm going to go to stat. Zoom out a little. So you're going to hit stat, and you're going to hit edit. It's going to be on edit, so you're just going to hit enter. And let me clear these lists so you can see. So if your lists are not cleared, you're going to clear them. Go up to the top, L1, L2, hit clear, come back down, it'll be gone. In L1, I'm going to put in my miles, 107 and 127. In L2, I'm going to put my cost that corresponds to those miles. So where 107 is, you need to put 97.15. 127, 106.15. Okay? Then you're going to hit stat again. You're going to go over to calculate, and you're going to go down where it says line reg AX plus B. Enter, enter, enter till you hit calculate, and it tells you, so the line is y equals AX plus B, where A is 0.45 and B is 49. So you get y equals 0.45x plus 49. So which of these numbers is the flat rental fee? It's the number that's by itself without an x on it, because you're going to be paying that regardless of how much you drive. So D, $49 is the flat rental fee. Okay, 87. At a linen sale, Mrs. Earl bought twice as many pillowcases for $2 each as sheets for $5 each. If she spent less than $40, not including tax, what's the maximum number of pillowcases she could have purchased? So we can set up an inequality. So Mrs. Earl bought twice as many pillowcases as sheets. So first I need to find my variables. X, I'm going to make pillows. Y, I'm going to make sheets. So X equals to Y because she's buying twice as many. Sorry, I had to read the problem again. She's buying twice as many sheets. Okay, so her single pillow is going to be twice as many sheets. And then we have this other equation. She spent less than $40. So she bought $2 for each pillowcase plus $5 for each sheet is less than $40. Can't equal 40, but less than 40. Okay, so you can solve this on your Desmos because you can plug this into Desmos, or you can solve it by substituting 2y in for x and solving for y. So I'm going to plug 2y in for x, so 2 times 2y plus 5y less than 40. 4y plus 5y less than 40. 9y less than 40 divided by 9. Y less than 4.4. So we can't have 4.4 of a sheet, but what's the next number less than 4.4 is 4. So now I'm going to plug 4 back in for y up here. 2 times 4, which gives us 8. So she can buy at least the maximum number of, she can buy up to, I should say, 8 pillowcases for $2 each. And again, you could have plugged this into Desmos and seen where the lines intersected. 88. The gas tank in Mina's car holds 15 gallons. Her car gets between 25 and 30 miles to the gallon. If Mina fills up the gas tank, then drives until she runs out of gas, what is the least number of miles she can drive? So, very simple. If her car gets between 25 and 30, which of these is the lesser number? 25, so that would be she's getting her worst gas mileage. And she has 15 gallons. 25 miles to the gallon, so 25 miles each gallon. Just multiply them together, and you get 375 miles. So that's her lower end of the least number of miles that she would drive. If it asked for the greatest, you would do 30 times 15. 89. The population of Williston is currently 15,400 people. If the population increases at an average rate of 325 people per year, which equation could be used to find the approximate number of years it will take for the population to reach 18,000 people? So they're starting at 15,400 plus, increasing means plus 325 people per year. 325 times x because x is the amount of years. And when is going to equal 18,000? So you're just setting up that equation. Answer is A. 90. To which of the following situations can the function y equals 5x plus 10 best apply? The number of miles a person walks if he walks for 5 hours at the rate of 10 miles per hour. The total weight on a scale of 5 pounds is placed there initially, and a series of 10-pound weights are added. The total wages earned by a waiter who is paid $5 per hour and earns $10 in tips. The combined length of 5 boards, each 10 feet longer than the width of the doorway. So, hope that you can see your answer here is C. 5 is getting multiplied to something more than once because of x, and 10 is only happening one time because it's our y-intercept. So the waiter is getting 5 per hour, that's 5x. $10 in tips is happening just once at the end of the night, so which isn't very good tips, or wage. But anyway, 5x plus 10. All right, 91. Which sequence uses the algebraic expression 4n plus 5 to describe the relationship between the terms in the sequence and its position n in the sequence? So I would just plug in something from each expression to figure out into the algebraic expression to figure out if it's correct. So n is its position in the sequence, meaning in first position it's a 4. Second position, if I plug a 2 in, I would get 9. Third position, if I plug a 3 in, I would get 14, fourth position, fifth position. I would pick something other than the first position to practice with because there's 4s and 9s repeated. If you look in the second position, there's nothing repeated. So I would choose the second or the third, fourth, or the fifth. I'm going to choose the second position. So I'm going to let n be 2, and I'm going to do 4 times 2 plus 5. 4 times 2 plus 5 is 8 plus 5 is 13. So your answer here should be C. We can also just practice with everything else. We can go back to the first position. 4 times 1 plus 5 is 9. 4 times 3 plus 5. 12 plus 5 is 17. So it keeps working. 4 times 4 plus 5, 16 plus 5, 16 plus 5 is 21. And 4 times 5 plus 5 is 25. So C works. Okay, this is the position in the sequence. All right, last one for this video. Which expression is equivalent to the following? So you are just distributing and making equivalent expressions. 1/2 x is being distributed. 1/2 x times 4x. Well, half of 4 is 2, and x times x is x squared, so 2x squared. 1/2 x times -6. 1/2 of 6 is 3, and then you have an x. Plus 3 times x squared, 3x squared. 3 times -1 minus 3. 2x squared plus 3x squared is 5x squared. So I can eliminate B and D. Minus 3x minus 3. So C is your answer here. Look how close A and C are. So that's how much they're trying to trick you by making some answers very close. That's the end of this video. One more video to go, guys, and you're done. So one more video.